Hey, good afternoon, students. So, in last some videos, we have studied how to find out the powers and roots of the complex numbers, and based on the same topic, we have solved some problems which are very basic and which we have already studied in the earlier standard. Now, today we are going to study what is the limit of a complex function, what is the continuity of a complex function, and differentiability of the complex function. Though you have studied limit, continuity and differentiation in 11th and 12th standard mathematics, we need to understand what is meant by limit, continuity and differentiability of a complex function to understand the next topic, that is analyticity and harmonicity of the complex functions, right? So before proceeding to analyticity, and analyticity is also called as entireness of the complex function, and to understand this analyticity and harmonicity of the complex function, one must know what is meant by the limit and continuity and differentiability of the complex function. So let us try to understand first what is meant by limit of complex function of a complex function, or I can say a complex variable, right? So let us consider a function, complex function. A complex number z is equal to x plus iy is our complex number, and let us consider a complex function or a complex variable f of z is a complex function. Now, what is called as the limit of a complex function? The limit of a complex function is said to exist if limit f of z at z tends to z naught. Z naught is any arbitrary point where a complex variable z approaches. So limit f of z tends to z naught is said to have a limit L or W. In some books W letters are used, in some books, or you can, these are the dummy variables, you can use any letters. If this is exists along any curve, then the given complex function is said to exist a limit. Fine. Now I don't know whether you have understood this definition of the limit of the complex function or not, but you are very well aware about the limit of the real functions. So let us try to correlate this with the real variables and recap the definition of the limit of the function for the real variables. So in order to understand that, let us consider f of x is a function, is a real function, right? Real function. Being x as a real variable, f of x is a real variable. Then the function f of x is said to exist a limit, is said to exist a limit L if and only if the right hand side and left hand side limit of the given function are equal, right? So I can say limit x tends to x naught. Let me refer this. Limit x tends to x naught, f of x is equals to, I can say limit x tends to x naught minus f of x is equals to limit x tends to x naught plus f of x. If these two limits are same or equal, then the given function is said to have a particular limit L, right? So this is the definition of the limit of the function for the real variables. Now to support this definitions understanding, let us consider one example for real variables, and then we'll turn again to the definition for the limit of the complex functions, right? So let us consider an example where the function f of x is equal to x square and this is equal to x plus 1. Let me check. X square and x plus 1 in two regions. So x square is for the region x less than or equals to 0. That means on negative x-axis, and this is on positive x-axis, that is x greater than or equals to 0. This is here, it is not equal to, it is less than equals to 0, right? So one can make the curly bracket to it on this side or this side. So this is your problem or example, and we have to check the limits, right? Now before proceeding to check whether the limits are exist and the left hand side and right hand side limits are equal or not, let us draw the graph for this, and I will draw the graph here, and its graphical representation will give you I will need a positive x-axis and negative x-axis. So therefore this is my x-axis and this is my x-axis, this is the y-axis, right? Y-axis, and this is x-axis. So on negative x-axis, when x is less than 0, the function has a value equals to x square. So on this side, what is the value of your function? Is equal to f of x is equals to x square, and f of x is equal to x square, graph is in this way, right? Because if you put the value of x is equals to 0, you will get f of x, and f of x is nothing but y. You can say f of x is equals to 0. So at point 0, you will get y equals to 0 or f of x is equals to 0. When x is equals to 1, your f of x is equals to 1. So you will get somewhere here, if this is equals to 1 and this is equals to 1, so this is the second point. And if x is equals to 2, your y is equals to 4 or f of x is equals to 4. So x is equals to 2 will have a y equals to value 4. So this is the graph for f of x is equals to x square or y is equal to x square. Similarly, on the right hand side, you can plot a graph for the function f of x is equal to x plus 1. Carry out the same process and you can plot a graph. For x is equals to 0, you will get y is equals to 1. So x is equals to 0, y is equals to 1. Your graph will start from here. And at x is equals to 1, y is equals to 2. So suppose x is equals to 1 is here, y is equals to 2 is here. And at x is equals to 2, y is equals to 3. So somewhere here. And this will give you exactly a straight line in this case, right? So I can say y is equals to x plus 1 is this graph. Fine. And you can find out the limits by using this graph and these functions. Either you can use this or this. Sometimes you may have only a example. Sometimes you will get the only graphical representation and not this kind of examples, and you will be asked to calculate the limit of the functions. Though this limit, continuity and differentiability is not very important as far as the complex analysis is considered for your exam point of view. This is just for understanding. So though you do not understand what is meant by limit, continuity and differentiability of complex function, no worry. Next points are very important to understand, that is analyticity and harmonicity of the functions. Fine. So in this case, let us check the limits of left hand side and right hand sides are equal or not. So let us calculate first the limit of the function x tends to x naught minus on negative side f of x. So left hand side limit is which one? This one, x square. Now x square, you can put its value. So f of x is equals to limit x tends to 0, right? So this will give me x square. Put the value of x square equals to 0, you will get this is equals to 0. Similarly, you can calculate the value of limit on a right hand side. So this is the right hand side function, and on right hand side, if x tends to x naught plus, here you can say x naught minus f of x, and this is equals to x plus 1, and put the value of x is equals to 0 because x tends to 0. Here also x tends to 0. So this will give you 1, and both limits, this implies that limit x tends to x naught plus f of x and limit x tends to x naught minus f of x, both are not equal, right? And hence I can say limit of this function does not exist. If both are equal, then we can say the limit of this function exists. If not equal, does not exist. So this is the case for the real functions. Now what about the complex functions? So let us now turn to the complex function. When the complex function f of z is to have a limit, and when it is said to have limit doesn't exist. Now to support this, let us take an example. What is the definition of the limit of the complex function? So complex function f of z is said to have the limit L or W if the given function f of z's limit along any curve is L. Is L, that means it must have a finite value. I can say must have a finite value, not infinite, isn't it? It must have a finite value. And to check this, take an example. Let us take an example. Limit of the function z tends to z naught, z by z bar, right? Z by z bar, whether its limits it is exist or not, and we have to check along any curve. What kind of curves we can choose here? We can choose two kind of curves, along x-axis and along y-axis. So let us say this is our x-axis and this is our z-axis. This is our y-axis and this is a z plane, right? Why? Because z is equal to x plus iy. So z is equals to, at point z is equals to z naught, we have to check whether the limit is exist or not. Got it? And this is a domain. Domain is the area where the point is exist. So this is a domain where we have to check whether the limit is exist or not. Got it? So let us check the limit for the point. So now you can put out the values of z. So limit z tends to z naught, and what is z? Z is equal to x plus iy divided by z bar. Z bar is x minus iy, right? We have to put the values of x and y into it. And what is this z? Z is nothing but having a variables x and y. What is z naught? Z naught is any arbitrary points. So x and y are the variables which are approaching towards the 0 point, and then check along any curve. That means we'll check along two curves. Along x-axis is one curve, along y-axis is another curve. So I can say along x-axis, if z tends to z naught, that means if z approaches to z naught, that means x and y are approaches to 0 0, then what I can say, along x-axis the value of y is equals to 0, isn't it? Got it? At z is equals to 0, x is not 0 and y is equals to 0 along the x-axis, right? Because the value of x is varying, it's not 0 or it is not approaching to 0, and whenever the point z is approaching towards the 0 on or along x-axis, the value of y is equals to 0. Then put this value into above equation, above limit, then you will get limit z tends to z naught, z by z bar, and this will give me, by putting the value of y equals to 0, 0, you will get x by x, and this x by x is equals to 1. So what I can say? So the limit along one curve is equals to 1. On the same line, you have to check whether the limit on other curve is same or not. So what is limit z tends to z naught f of z along any curve? Both limits must be finite and are equal. So let us check for other case. On, I can say, along y-axis, when z approaches to 0 or z tends to 0, what will be the value of x? That is, x is equals to 0, y is not equals to 0, and do calculate the limit. So limit z tends to z naught, z by z bar is equals to, and put the value of x is equals to 0 here, you will get iy divided by minus time iy, and this will give me a minus 1. So on one side it is equals to 1, and on other curve it is equals to minus 1. What it means? It means that for both the curve, limit is not same, is finite but not same, and therefore I can say limit for the above example does not exist, right? Does not exist, isn't it? Now for better understanding of the concept of the limit of the complex function, let us consider one more example wherein you can find out the limit of the given function is exist, right? So rather than roughing out this, let us check here only. I will consider a very simple and analogical example. So limit z tends to z naught, z by z naught bracket square. Whether check the limit is exist for this problem or not. Now check the limit exists along both the curves. Consider both the curves. So along x-axis, when z tends to z naught, right, or z tends to 0, that means xy tends to 0, 0, and along x-axis y is equals to 0. So if you put the value of y equals to 0 into the above equation, then what it will give you? It will give again x by x. Now here you are having a square on it, right, and squaring on this, you will get x by x bracket square is equals to 1, and 1 square is equals to 1 again. Similarly, on other curve along y-axis, when z tends to 0 or z approaches to 0, that is the value of x is equals to 0, and by putting the value into limit, you will get limit z tends to z naught or 0, z by z bar bracket square is equals to, now put the value of x is equals to 0, you will get iy divided by minus time iy and bracket square. This will give me minus 1 its a square. Minus 1 its a square will be equals to 1, and if you compare now this equation number 1 and this equation number 2, so equation number 1 and 2 are the equations for the limit along two different curves, and being the limit same on two different curve and equal, we can say the limit of the given example exists, and this is equals to 1. So this is called as the limit of the complex functions, which is very simple. Now let us go ahead for the next topic, that is continuity of the complex function. And to understand the continuity of the complex function for a real function, we have to again consider the real function to understand the continuity of the complex function. Now when we can say the function is continuous for a real function? For real functions, f of x are said to be continuous at a particular point if, let us say, f of x is a real function, then the function is said to be a continuous. I can say continuity of the complex function, continuity of the complex function. And f of x is a real function, and this f of x is said to be a continuous at x equals to x naught if and only if the limit x tends to x naught f of x, limit x tends to x naught f of x is equals to f of x naught. That means if you put the value of x naught into the given function and this is equals to 0 and its limit both are equals to same, then the function is said to be a continuous function. Or one more definition is that if its right hand side limit, or I can say limit x tends to x naught plus limit x tends to x naught plus f of x is equals to limit x tends to x naught minus f of x is equals to f of x naught. What it means, if the right hand side limit and left hand side limit is equals to f of x naught, if this happens in a particular example, then the given function, real function f of x, is said to be a continuous functions, right? And I think this is a well understood example, and you need not to take the example for this. Now, what is the case for complex function? A complex function f of z is said to have, let us say f of z is a complex function, and f of z is said to be a continuous if and only if limit z tends to z naught f of z has a finite value, right, and is equals to f of z naught, and this value must be a finite value. Then the given function, given complex function f of z is said to have a continuity, or it is said to be a continuous function. If it is not continuous, then it is said to be a irregular point, right? And if the function is continuous, then in complex variables it is called as analytic function, or entire function is called as. Those kind of words we are going to study in next some topics. So let's try to understand what is the continuity of the complex function with the help of one example, because this is the point of interest for us, not the continuity of the real functions. So let us check with an example. So the first example, if f of z is equals to z cube minus 1 divided by z minus 1, and this is also equals to a constant term, that is a 3 at two different locations, and if mod of z is not equals to 1 and when mod of z is equals to 1, we have to check its continuity at z is equals to 1. That means you are supposed to put the value of z equals to 1, whether is continuous or discontinuous at z is equals to 1. Now if you put the value of z is equals to 1 into the above equation, then you will get f of z, we have to check the limit, no? So limit z tends to z naught, f of z is equals to limit z tends to z naught. Now what is your function? Your function is this one, z cube minus 1. I can write z cube minus 1 cube. Z cube minus 1 cube is z minus 1, and in the other bracket you will be having a square plus b square plus ab, isn't it? So a square, that means z square, plus b square is 1 plus ab is z divided by z minus 1. And you have to check the continuity at z is equals to 1. So the value of z naught is equals to 1. The value of z naught is equals to 1. And if you put this value, so this gets cancelled to each other, and limit z tends to 1 will be equals to 1 square plus 1 is equals to 3. And this is a finite value, and therefore we can say the limit for z is equals to 1 is exist for this particular point, exists for the complex function, right? And you need not to check for this because this is a constant term. Got it? And hope you have understood the concept of the continuity of the so we can say the given complex function is said to be a continuous at a particular point z is equals to 1. You can take one more example, and for that example you can check out whether the given function is continuous or not. I will give you one more example. So f of z is equals to z square minus 4 upon z minus 2. Simple example. And you have to check the continuity of this function. Check the continuity of the function at z is equals to 2. At z is equals to 2. Right? You can check out and you can work out this example at home. Let us move ahead for the next point. And the next topic is a differentiability of the given complex function. Differentiability of the complex function. I will wind up this very fast because these are not much important points. So differentiability of complex function. So the given point or a complex function f of z is said to be differentiable at a point. Let us consider a complex function f of z, and f of z is said to be a differentiable at point z is equals to z naught. Z naught is any arbitrary point, on the plot or on the graph, right? When the function f of z is said to be a differentiable, when it is said to be a differentiable, it is said to be a differentiable if and only if the derivative of the function, so f dash of z naught is equals to limit z tends to z naught f of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z exist. If this limit is exist for its differentiation exist. If delta z tends to z naught. Z naught is any arbitrary point. It may be a 0 or maybe other point. If this exists, then the given function is said to be a differentiable function, isn't it? Right? So let us take an example of this. So let us say the f of z is a function and it is equals to z square plus 1. Z square plus 1, and you are asked to check the differentiability of the given function at all points, and right, so check the differentiability, check differentiability of the function of the complex function, right? And in order to check the differentiability of the complex function, what we need to do is, so put the value of z is equals to in the function z is equals to z plus delta z. So let us go ahead. So I can say f dash of z naught is equals to limit delta z tends to z naught, and this function z plus delta z, your function is a z square. So put the value of z is equal to z plus delta z. So instead of putting a z only, delta z tends to z naught. So I can say z naught plus delta z square plus 1 minus f of z. F of z, your function is this. So z naught square plus 1 divided by delta z. And if you solve this, then you will get limit delta z tends to z naught, and inside the bracket you can now solve this, and after solving this you will get z square, or I can say z naught square plus delta z square plus 2 times z naught delta z plus 1. I will write at the denominator at the lower side so that you can observe this very clear. Limit delta z tends to z naught, and inside the square bracket I will just square this bracket z naught plus delta z. So z naught square plus delta z square plus 2 times z naught delta z plus 1 minus z naught square minus 1 divided by delta z. Now this minus 1 plus 1 cancels, z naught square and minus z naught square gets cancelled, and you will get here delta z square plus 2 z naught delta z. Delta z you can take out common, and this one delta z and delta z gets cancelled to each other, and you will get 2 z naught plus delta z. You will get this only, and your delta z tends to z naught has this value. And if you consider any particular value for delta z tends to 0, then you will get the value of 2 z naught plus delta z is equals to 2 z naught, which is a finite, right? And thus we can say for the given complex function, the given complex function is a differentiable because its value is a finite. This is called as the differentiability of the given complex function. So we will stop now here because this is a very lengthy video, and in the next video we will try to understand what is meant by analyticity of the function and the harmonicity of the function or entireness of the function. Thank you.